So we're starting to get ready to fix our axe up, and you saw the picture of the piece of maple that had fallen, and so we got to cut it. And so I'm going to do is baton into it a little bit, work around it a little bit. This is a fairly dead limb that was found at the base of that maple. Probably will break now. Not quite. There we go. So we got our handle for our axe now. Okay, now we need to make a wedge. I chopped this off a little bit here, but we need to make a wedge into the handle so that it'll be the width of the blade plus some sticking out. So we'll use this to do that. And let me see which way I want it first of all. Yeah, right about there. So this is the tricky part, is getting it wedged in there. There we go. We got a nice split now. Now what I'll do is turn the camera off, and I'll show you how I'm going to keep that split open for a while. So what I did is I stuck a stick in there, took this, and now I'm going to, I want it to, go right over the hole. Hopefully you can see this here. I better point it this way better. Sorry. And then tap that down in there. Okay, now we got it ready. So now we'll do the paracord stuff, and then we'll show you what that hole is for. Well, this is going to be hard to show how I'm going to do this. So first of all, I got a dowel, and I graduated it so that it goes in really tight for the hole part right there. And then I cut 4 more dowels. And I recessed the stick a little bit, so I'm going to put 2 on this side and the other 2 on this side, and then I'll wrap all that with paracord. And I'll get it wrapped to a certain extent, then I'll show you how I actually wrapped it. But this is the main core of the whole thing. Get the split going, and then get a dowel that you can stick in the hole, because it's going to go up against your stick here. So you want to make sure before you start putting everything else in that it's right up against the stick, because it's going to be a big stabilizer. And get the shape of your handle, I mean the blade. Move this over here. Get the shape of it the way you want before you start putting in the dowels on these 4 sides here. And Scott gives you a paper to show you how to do this. There's 3 or 4 ways you can do it, and I just chose this way. But anyway, these are sticks from that into the limb of the maple I got. Well, in Scott's directions it said to use around 15 feet of paracord, and I thought it was appropriate since I got an orange a sheath from him that I'd use orange paracord. Now if you're out in the wild, you don't have to do this this much. You know, you can use your boot strings for this, but I mostly made an X pattern like this and like this coming around for the major part of it, and then it looped around the 4 pegs here. This is really in solid. One thing I got to remind you of, that this blade is sharp and I wasn't paying attention. Now what I want to do too is wrap this part of the handle, because I want to try to keep it from splitting any further. So I left a little of a tie-in on my starting line and then tied it off at this point. Now I'm going to go around and with the remaining part and just wrap this around the handle. And this will also help if you miswhack when you're chopping wood or something. It'll protect the handle a little bit more and hit the paracord instead. I got 18 feet, he said 15, but I think, you know, 10 or so would do just fine, but I'm overkilling it a little bit here. Anyway, I'll tie this off and then show you the result here and then do some chopping with it. Okay, pretty tickled with this. Looks pretty cool even too. It tied off really nicely. I got this wrapped down here, and it's really solid. And so now I can start using it to do some chopping. And so got this piece of cedar here. As you can see, it's working well. And it really stays in solid. I'm amazed at how well it is, really. But if you want to make your kindling up for your fire, this would be a good way to do her, using the axe. I've done this many times with the hatchet, and this is working fine for doing that. If I can hit it. Anyway, getting pieces made up for that. So I didn't count on this, but I got the handle kind of curved a little bit, so it's kind of a cool look to it. But it's working well. Let me see what the camera sees here before I go on. Move it up just a hair. So of course now you can use it like a hatchet. You can do chopping with it. It makes it a little bit safer than what I was doing earlier to do your tent stakes and stuff like that. By the way, if these pegs get in the way, you can always shorten them down some. There we go. Now I got the ability to push on the wrap as well to make good stakes. You can still baton with it. Find my stick here. You still got this base here that you can still use. And now it's a little bit easier because you can hold on to the whole thing and do a little bit better job that way. Although I like grabbing a hold of the blade as a knife too. But anyway, you can make a notch. Something that Scott also mentioned is that this allows you to put the sheath back on when you're carrying it too. so that you can be safe. I've been thinking about putting the blade in the sheath part, tying it onto my pack. You can stick it in your pocket really easily. It can be stored a number of ways. But anyway, makes a great axe, and it's really solid. This is, you know, hitting it pretty hard in there, and you got a nice blade still there to use. So this can be used now just like a regular hatchet for doing wood chores. I also thought about some other things you can use it for, and Scott said he's used it to dress game with, but gutting a fish, even you know, breaking small bones in birds or something or like that would be fine. But anyway, kind of babbling on, but you can probably come up with all kinds of ways to use this blade. I've shown you quite a few already today. Doing a bow drill, tent stake, making notches, batoning, cutting wood up, splitting wood here, shaving off. You can use this as a plane and make things smoother. And like I made curls and lit a fire with this, with my fire steel. So you can make curls with it, you can plane with it. Scott said that he made a spoon with his once. He shaved it off and cut everything off, and then he burned a hole with a coal to make the bowl shape for his spoon. So you could do that as well. This could actually make a spoon right here. You could narrow this down on each side. I make spoons all the time. If you're out in the wild, you don't have to have a beautiful looking spoon. It just needs to be functional. This piece of cedar, so it wouldn't be that great for a spoon, but it would work. Anyway, narrow the handle down and then burn out a bowl. Shape this up so that you got more of a thinner bowl part for your spoon. Kind of going on and on here. Anyway, there we go. Getting it beveled up now, so that you'd round this off and this be your handle, then you burn out a place here, make this thinner, and you got your spoon. Anyway, this is really holding well, and it's pretty besides. So that's the tool for Scout Knives. Scott Cook's the maker, and we showed you how to make an axe with it and how to use just the blade alone. So I'd like to apologize first of all for I keep calling Chuck Scott in the videos. So his name is Chuck Cook, but it's Scout Knives. So I guess I got confused a little bit in the wording there. But he gives you this paper at with the tool, his phone number, email, etc., website. And so it's Scout Knives, but his name on his business card, of course, is Chuck Cook. And so sorry about that. I kept calling him Scott. But review real quickly from all of this is that the goods and bads, I don't get paid for this. I bought this myself. I just thought I'd give a review. The sheath was a little bit loose, so I put a little piece of leather in there to make it tighter. And overall, I can't say too many bad things about this, except for the spine on the blade. At least one edge of it would be better if it was sharpened a little bit sharper for scraping the fire steel, because it didn't throw as many sparks as I'd like to. But you see that it did work. Putting this all together is a little hard, but it's about the only way that you can do something really properly. Having this big hole in the center makes it really stable. This blade just does not move once you wind enough around. These two holes would be really great, which I think I'll do, is put some paracord on these two and hang this on my pack so I'll have it available all the time. Or else I might carry it in my pocket too, I'm not sure. The idea is to have this available and not have an axe with you. You can make an axe. But I did show you a lot of ways that you can use this blade without having the axe part on there. We did a bow drill set, we made it with that, and we actually got a fire going. Did a lot of curls, struck a fire steel and got a fire going there. Made a tent stake, showed you how I like to pound it in. Used this for batoning and made some cuts here and there. Cut some sticks, split up some wood to make for pencil size pieces for fire. Did a whole bunch of things. You saw it in the video. Can't say too many bad things at all about this. A good thing to have, and the idea is to have this with you, and at least have it in your EDC pack or something like that, so if you are without an axe, then you could make an axe if you wanted to, and it does make a very sturdy axe. So, great tool, and thanks for watching.